As you see, they've got a neck on the floor. He's got his hand on her neck.
He's straight out of Wales with the wind in his sails. He's tipping the scales, Silurian trails, revealing their names while he's lifting their veils. Public as sales, no one exhales. Won't read in the mail, it's not printed in braille. No bonus for sales, the light will prevail. He's telling the tale while he's hot on the trail. Whole nother scale, he's hammering the nail. He's trolling and rolling the camera and showing the standard that's double. Exposing the bubble, removing the muzzle. He's always got trouble, he's fighting the muscle and solving the puzzle. He's taking the fight and he's spreading the light and he's doing it right. Taking dark as the night and he's making it bright and providing insight while he's flooding your eyes like a hair in the headlight.
Press, don't even pick on me. Are you watching this? The press aren't allowed to film.
Injustice is served, collar crime is submerged. Don't be absurd, your vision is blurred. He's seen it occur, still right there on the curb. His iPhone record, he's filming the herd. BLM thugs act like cons high on drugs. They wrecking the place, they're smashing the face. He's in with the thick, in with hammers and sticks. Exposing the truth, he's showing the proof. He's trolling and rolling the camera and showing the standard that's double. Exposing the bubble, removing the muzzle. He's always got trouble, he's fighting the muscle and solving the puzzle. He's taking the fight and he's spreading the light and he's doing it right. Taking dark as the night and he's making it bright and providing insight while he's flooding your eyes like a hair in the headlight.
Just don't want to see it there. You just don't want to see the violence. You don't want to see the violence on some of those people. 3 people on a woman.
Support for the vets, pray unless we forget the pain he besets and the truth he projects. He's a victim of threats, but he never regrets. Life extremely upsets, no printing gazettes. He's taken the test, got the pedo's address. No south, east or west, he streams the protest. No news is suppressed, the whole truth is expressed. Twin standard he tests, he's facing arrest. He's trolling and rolling the camera and showing the standard that's double. Exposing the bubble, removing the muzzle. He's always got trouble, he's fighting the muscle and solving the puzzle. He's taking the fight and he's spreading the light and he's doing it right. Taking dark as the night and he's making it bright and providing insight while he's flooding your eyes like a hair in the headlight.
There's 4, 5 on one. There's 2 on a girl. They pinned her to the floor. This one's getting a bully boy tactics. That's from the TSG probably. Sergeant, yeah.
Evening all, welcome to Real News Live News, Wednesday night again, it's 8 o'clock again. It's going to be an interesting show today. It does kind of link in with PCP Wales and stuff like that. It's about drag queens in libraries right across the country. We will be talking about cost of living and a few other things, like the MPs getting their energy bills paid for and stuff like that, and TV licensing, and why the electric bill is actually increasing along with the gas bills, folks. I got my own theories on it. I'm going to be very, very busy. Let's have grab a couple of comments to see what's occurring here. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting show tonight. So if you could all please start sharing, folks. I'm still on my main profile. It's still banned as such. I can see it's on YouTube. I'm getting comments through on YouTube. Yeah, Evening Tommy, Evening Welsh Blonde. Nice seeing you. Yeah, if you could please start sharing. I'm going to put a banner up, obviously, for the bottom. Right, folks. Yeah, I've got a young lady on. I first met her when I was doing some filming, banners on bridges, and this is when I first met her. It was in Cardiff, it was, folks. I've seen her a few times, and I'm going to bring Sasha on. I'm not sure where she's from, but I'm going to bring her on. Evening, Sasha.
Evening, Phil.
Could you tell the folks a little bit about your banners on the bridges, and if you do mention anything about COVID and the jibby jab, just keep it as jibby jab, because then I don't get a strike with YouTube.
Yeah, no worries at all, Phil. Yeah, so I set up banners on bridges, which is a Telegram channel. I set it up about a year ago. It was basically to just protest mainly about the restrictions, jibby jabs, all of that basically, and the removal of our rights. Because what I had done, how I came to set up banners on bridges basically is I used to go out on bridges and put signs, posters, bed sheets, all of that kind of thing on bridges. and they just got taken down. Basically, they just got removed within hours. So it was a bit frustrating. I was trying to get my message out there, and it just kept getting removed. So I came up with the idea then that, if I could gather a group of like-minded people, we could actually stand on bridges with our signs
Yeah.
and get the support from motorists passing below. So I went on Telegram because we just keep getting banned on Facebook. And I set up the group, and we we haven't been meeting so much lately because there's so much going on, but during the lockdowns and the restrictions and all that, we met every week on various bridges around Cardiff, usually over dual carriageway, motorway, something like that. And we just hold our signs and our banners and just trying to get the message out to people, really.
Yeah, I used to do bridges, the motorway bridges, a long time ago for Brexit, and we used to have a little counter and stuff like that. We used to have the Welsh flag, the British flags, and and we want Brexit, like, basically. And you could
Yeah,
tell what sort of reaction you were getting by the beeps that was going past.
that's it, exactly. And there's so much traffic passes, so you get seen by, it's a great chat, it's a great way of getting your message seen by a lot of people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is. It spreads a message because people do walk past as well, believe it or not, like,
Yeah.
even
Oh,
on motorway bridges. And
yeah. And some of them are pedestrian bridges, so we'd people going by. Then, if they were willing to stop and talk to us, then we'd have a chat with them as well. We'd give them some information, about jibby jabs and the risks and all of that. Give them some leaflets. So, yeah, it was a really good experience, and obviously I made loads of new friends as well. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, so it was a good, like I said, it was a good way of getting ourselves seen, because, as you know, with the Facebook and anything like that, you're just censored. Anything you put up, anything that's truth, is censored and removed.
yeah. If everybody that's watching, if you all jump onto the page instead of the group, folks, onto Real News Live News, I will be able to see all your comments. If you're on the group, I won't be able to see your comments, but if you're on the page, I will be able to see your comments. I've got a few comments coming through. Yeah. So after that, you did a bit of cost of living, then, didn't you?
That was only recently. We did do well. We arranged what was supposed to be a march or a protest for cost of living, because, again, we wanted to give a lot of information to people as to why we believe this is happening. Didn't have great numbers, so what we did instead is we sort of set up on Queen Street in Cardiff.
Yeah.
We just sort of stood there with our leaflets. We had a megaphone, and just, again, trying to talk to people as they pass by, kind of like an outreach event, giving them some information about what they could potentially do, and trying to explain to them why all this was happening and how it's all connected to a big wider agenda.
Yeah, the agenda, New World Order.
Mhm.
I think most of my viewers already know about the New
Mhm.
World Order,
Yeah.
and what their intentions, agenda to 230, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's all. I mean, it's all connected, and that's the problem. You see, that most of the people who are not awake, they see all these different things happening. The climate change scam, the cost of living, all of that. And the attack on motorists, the speed limit, and all of that, and the narrowing roads. And they don't. They have a little moan about it, but they don't realise that it's all part of this. Great reset.
yeah. Should we go on to why I brought you onto the show? There's this happening in Wales from the 8th of August all the way through to the 12th of August, Monday to Friday, isn't it, next week?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Cardiff one is the last one, I believe, in Wales.
Yeah, and this is all down to let's see if I can find him. This person be a
Yes, ADHD, as he likes to be called. That's his stage name. And he
yeah,
likes to prance around in that outfit in front of children.
yeah, and this is where I don't get why. I'm going to put a different one up because I'll probably, if I leave it up too long, I'll get reported by somebody. This is what I can't understand. Why a drag queen, a man in a dress, wants to talk to children? I just don't understand it, and I don't fathom it at all.
No, no, and that's why it makes no sense at all. A drag queen is an adult entertainer. It's for over 18s in adult clubs. That's absolutely fine. So why now do they want to entertain kids? Again, we can see it's all part of the paedophile agenda. It's, they're trying to sexualize our kids. They're trying to groom our kids. They're trying to basically get kids to be aware of sex and accept sex from a very young age, so they can legalize pedophilia. And that's what I think the end game is here with this paedophile agenda, because there's so much going on. I mean, it isn't just this. There's an agenda which I have. I'll be handing out leaflets on the day about that. There's several points which have already been implemented. I mean, it's sex change operations for young kids, puberty blockers, mixed bathrooms in schools, and they're trying to push to lower the age of consent as well. And as I mentioned to you before, Phil, that ADHD on his profile on Facebook, he has love has no age. So, I mean,
well, we know exactly what that means.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, how can anyone defend that?
Well, I think the likes of Parliament and the MPs, they've been trying to push this for a very long time. They like to keep it under the carpet because they know how we feel.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that much long ago when you had Speaker of the House of Commons wanted to lower the age to 10 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fact. It was a she as well. She actually wanted to lower the age of consent in this country. And I think this is the way it's going, and this is the way that they're pushing it. They're starting the indoctrination.
Yeah, and they're using the LGBT movement. They're hijacking that to push their filth, basically. And we know there's the LGBT movement was set up mainly to have rights such as to be able to marry, and that was mainly really it as far as I know, because I know there's a group now, as you're probably aware, Phil, called Gays Against Groomers, and they're totally against this whole agenda as well, and they don't want to be associated with it, and they feel that they're sort of all being like tarred with the same brush under this LGBT agenda that's pushing all of this sort of degeneracy, and it's nothing to do with the original LGBT movement.
Yeah, well, LGBT started, it was lesbians, gays and transsexuals, and that was it. And then you started having the Q.
I don't think there was T initially. I think it was just lesbian, gay and bi. I think
LGB.
Yeah, right. T came a little bit then after, and then they slowly added 500 more letters.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they're trying to add the letter P,
yes,
which will probably stand for paedophile or pi. Yeah. And if anybody knows about pi, you know exactly where we're going with that, because the members of pi, they personally think that it's okay to have sex with any age child.
Yeah,
they call themselves sexualized from birth.
Minor attracted person, don't they? A MAP, I believe they call themselves.
MAP. Yeah, MAP's another one.
Yeah.
You do have certain groups like mermaids back in this as well. There is another one, Stonewall, is it? I can't remember it.
Heard of them.
It's another sort of group which is backing it, and they've been found out to be not a kosher people. They're actually backed by the government. They got lottery funding and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, we know this has all been pushed by the government, because the amount of protection that this drag queen has been given, as with police escorts, they're carrying his bags for him. They've just given him. He's getting as much protection as the queen would. So you have to ask yourself then, well, why? This has obviously come from very high up, and they're going to push this, and they're going to make sure it happens regardless. That's why we need to be there, and that's why, I hope everyone can sort of support us on the day, and in all the Welsh ones, not just this one as well. because we need as many people there as possible, just to let them know that we're not going to stand for it.
Well, I'm going to try and get to all of them. I'm going to struggle with the Monday one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure about my car, like, I mean, if my car can get up those hills. The other 7 I've got no problem getting to because I know my car can make those.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try my hardest to get to Newton. Let's have a quick look. I am going to try and get to all of them.
Yeah, that's the Mid Wales, the Monday one, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, Newton Library, Hay-on Wye Library, and Waigera, I think it's. I do have a few Welsh friends I'm going to tag into this, North Walians. They might actually get.
That'd be great.
Hopefully, we can get them to come down as well.
Yeah.
Because they're not happy about this. I did talk with them last Thursday about this, and they are, one or two of the girls are going to see if they can come down to it.
Yeah.
The rest of them, what I would really like to see, or everybody that watches this live now, is start ringing these libraries up. That's a start. And just ask a simple question. Why have you got a man in a dress wanting to talk to young children?
Yeah, about sexuality and gender.
Yeah, and push it. I think their wording is all inclusive.
Inclusivity. Yeah.
Well, I want to know why they want 2 year upwards. Because I saw a video yesterday. Base Welshman. He went to one, and one walked in with a child, must have been about 3 years old, and she walked in with a baby in her hands. Like, I'm thinking, why would you want to do that? Like, do you know?
I know. Yeah.
It's adult. They are adult entertainers.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it.
Absolutely. I mean, if it's just an innocent fairy tale that he's telling the kids, well, why does the drag queen need to do that? I mean, they have story time in the library all the time anyway, which a librarian can tell them, and that's what happened, I think, on one of the Bristol ones that got cancelled because of the protesters. The librarian read the children a story anyway, so what's wrong with that? So there's obviously, he's pushing something, because if it was just, like I said, a story, a fairy tale, why does he need to be there in a dress or in a jumpsuit or whatever he's in with his bits on show?
Yeah. Like I said, I think everybody should be either going to them, ringing them up, or complaining and
email.
Yeah. Because we pay their wages. And this is what everybody forgets. He's getting paid by us, the taxpayer.
Yeah.
So and we're paying kids sitting on his lap.
To be there to protect him as well, paying for the police. They have to get extra security at the libraries as well. We probably paying for his hotels that he's staying in, I don't know. And we're paying just for him to be able to use the library, because don't forget, it's a public place, which we fund. I never authorised for the council to spend my tax money for a groomer to go and try and sexualise kids in a public place. I never authorised that. So I've written to the council to say that I wouldn't be paying any further council tax. I think everyone should do similar, because we never agreed to this. This is our money they're spending at the end of the day to push this filth. I mean, if he was to go and, hire his own venue or something like that and pay for it, there's nothing we can do about that. But we should have a say, in what happens in a public place, which we fund.
Yeah. Well, they stopped the sex show. That was successfully stopped. That was stopped in Bath, and I'm sure if we can get enough people to the first one, and keep it rolling on the first day, and turn up to them all, but I got a funny feeling that they would have to stop it.
They would, because it's going to be too much. They can't keep it. They can't keep that level of security up all the time. It's just, they're not going to do it. I don't think that's why we need to just keep turning up, like you said, many people as possible. And that's why, I hope, I don't know where most of your viewers are from, but if they're local to Cardiff, if they can be there next Friday morning, just to make a stand and just show them that we're not accepting this kind of thing. We're not letting them groom our children.
Yeah, that's a week Friday, that is. But I'd like to see everybody turn up to the first one.
Yeah, well, it's depending where they're from. Obviously, I don't know where your viewers are from.
My views are, well, I get a lot of people from PCP Wales watch my stuff as well. Hopefully I'll tag a few of them in as well if they've got the day off, that some of them can turn up.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously they're supporters as well. So I'm hoping that we can get a few people that can turn up, because we need them on the first day, because we're not only dealing with a drag queen in the library, we're dealing with the far left, who we all know employ Antifa.
Yeah.
That's part of their army.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going to turn up in numbers because they're getting shipped in on buses.
They'll be there to try and antagonize us, to try and make it turn violent. So then, we can be demonized then in the media, violent protesters at a children's event. That's how they label us. And, the usual slurs, the far right, neo-Nazis, all of that. That's why they, wheel in Antifa. But we just got to try and keep it peaceful. We're not about, being violent or anything like that. All our protests are always peaceful. We've never been arrested.
Yeah, that's right. I've never gone to a profile that we've ever wanted to be violent. We've always gone to a protest being peaceful and tried to make change.
Yeah, that's it. Raise awareness, and we want to try and speak to parents as well on the day. We have leaflets, we'll have a megaphone. We just want to try and make parents aware that this isn't just some innocent story time, because a lot of parents are under that impression that, oh, it's innocent, it's nothing, it's just like pantomime. It's nothing like pantomime. And we want to get that message across, that it's a part of a massive agenda to sexualize our children.
Yeah, well, I see it sexualizing children. It's all part of the agenda. It's just they just want to make it the norm.
Yeah.
A man in a dress is talking to a child. Well, we know through the school education system what is coming in Wales from September, and it's not looking good. It ain't looking good.
No, and again, a lot of parents are completely oblivious about that as well, because we did a little outreach event for that as well a couple of weeks ago, where we were handing out some of the information regarding the curriculum, and most of the parents who I stopped and spoke to had no idea it was even coming in. And then the ones who did agree to speak to me, when I told them what was in the curriculum, they refused to believe me. They said, no, why would they do that? Why would they teach 3-year-olds about stuff like that? So it's difficult to get through to them, because again, they just don't think there's so much evil out there. They don't believe that it exists, unfortunately.
And that's why the Welsh government is going to court.
Yeah, I told them about the court case as well, but some listened. A couple took the information. Some were abusive. Some just didn't want to know.
Yeah, definitely. This is what these some of you can't change minds of some people.
No.
You can tell them till you're blue in the face, like they just don't want to listen, and they're the people you can't waste your time with.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to let those people go. You're not going to change their mind. It's the same with the whole COVID scam. They've already made up their mind. They're having 15 jabs. You can't change their mind on that, so let them go. But it's the way we look at it, on these outreach events. If we can even get through to one person and plant a seed there and potentially make them go and do some research, and even one person, if you can reach them, it is worthwhile.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. But haven't you got another? Are you involved with another demo that's coming up in August? Is it the 20th? Is it?
No, not that I'm aware of. Anyway, the main one obviously is the next one, next Friday, and the 12th. What was the 20th one?
I think it's a combined thing. I think I'm not sure.
Yeah, is it Kim? Is that the one Kim is organising?
Yeah.
Outside the station?
Yeah, that's outside the train station, yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably be there. I'm not organising that one, but I'll probably be there, and some of my group should be there as well, and just, again, try and hand out, because it's last chance saloon, isn't it? Because the schools are going to go back a few weeks after that, so it's kind of last chance to try and inform as many parents as possible and give them the information, so at least they can look into it. Because if they don't know about it, they can't do anything. They can't speak out. They can't take action, and that's the problem I found. when I did try to speak to them a couple of weeks ago, they just had no idea that it was even coming in because they've been so sneaky. They've just slid it in the back door, haven't they?
Yeah, but they were hasty doing it with the legislation, and that's the problem they've got because I think what you're going to find when people parents go back to school now in September, there will be a loophole that we can use until we get the court case.
Right. Okay. So they
So
can opt out.
yeah, definitely. Like Scotland and Ireland and England, they can still opt out, but Wales can't opt out from September.
Right.
But
So again,
there's
parents
still a
are
little
aware
loophole.
of the loophole, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a loophole. So Kim will be informing everybody the loophole
Yeah.
shortly, so they can print it off and go and see the headmasters and headmistresses, and they can have a chat, like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to put that banner back up if I can find it. So, folks, let's get rid of that comment first. The comments getting away. So these are the protesters. Newton Library at 11 o'clock on the 8th, which is Monday. A&Y then is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Is it Y Gear? That's at 4 o'clock. Vale of Glamorgan then on the 9th. That's Barry Library at 11:30, which I'll probably be. I'm going to be there around about 10:30, I think. Penarth Library then at 2 o'clock. Lantwick Major at 11:30 on the 10th. And then Cowbridge at 2 o'clock. On the 11th then is Porthcawl Library, Sarn Library and Aberkenfig. They're all quite local to me, so I'm going to be paying them a visit over the next few days. And then you've got Cardiff on the Friday.
Yeah.
And that one's at 11 o'clock. But these are subject to change, mind, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, they are. And that's the problem because what they've been trying to do is obviously they know we're going to be there. So they've been sneakily changing the times and just emailing the people who have booked tickets. So we plan to be there early on the day because we don't know. It's scheduled for 11 o'clock, but it may not happen at 11. So if anyone is coming along to join us next Friday at the Cardiff one, just come as early as you possibly can. We're going to be there probably from about 9 o'clock, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. Are you going to the first one as well?
I'm not sure. It depends. Myself and my friend were going to potentially drive up to that one, but I don't know if because it's going to be an all-day thing. I'm not sure if we can get to that. But I know I can't do any of the other ones, the midweek ones, because I'm in work. But she's going to be at I think the Barry one and potentially the Penarth one as well, or Porthcawl. I'm not sure, but she's going to be at a couple of those as well. And then most of my group. Hopefully, we're expecting quite a good attendance at the Cardiff one on Friday.
Yeah, I imagine you will have a good attendance, but that you'll also have a good attendance of Antifa. I can guarantee you that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They've already told us they're going to be there, so we're ready for them. We're ready.
I'm not really bothered.
No.
Antifa, we know they're paid opposition. They're actually paid by the government, really, by Soros.
Yeah, they are Soros. Yeah, they don't even show their faces. I mean, we don't hide our faces. We're not ashamed of what we're doing because we're not doing anything wrong. But they're just a bunch of pussies, aren't they? They can't even show their faces.
I love that. I love it. Yeah, I'm sure Adam Pantifa folks will probably make an appearance at one of those. I'm not saying
I definitely think he should. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, he's quite funny. He is.
I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, you will get to meet him, but I'm sure he'll be on Antifa's side.
Yeah.
He won't make himself known straight away. But if you suddenly see a camera pop up, you know it's Adam Pantifa. He'll be filming us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting event, really. Because
I think so. Yeah, I think it'll be lively.
You're going to have the LGBT sticking up for the drag queens.
Yeah.
This is where people get lulled into it.
Yeah, we'll be called homophobes, transphobes. We're ready for all that. We know what they're going to throw at us, and they're going to just try and demonize us. But we're used to it. We've spent the last year or so being abused and hated, and we're all ready for it. It doesn't bother. It doesn't stop us. We'll still keep going, and we'll still keep protesting. For anything that we need to, because there's plenty to protest about at the moment anyway, isn't there?
I personally think this isn't even. We had 2 million on the streets in London, right? We had 1 million on another occasion. This is only that was just the people who were against COVID, right?
Yeah.
But now this affects everybody, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, and there's so many other things going on as well. I mean, sometimes it's like, where do because we spend a lot of money on banners and leaflets and stuff like that as a group, and we make our own as well. And it's like, sometimes what are we actually going to protest about now? Because there's such a long list, and it's sometimes hard to know what to target. Because obviously COVID was the main thing, but we feel at this stage, if we were still protesting about that, we don't get the support because there's no restrictions now. So people kind of, they're sort of over that side of things. And obviously we protested a lot at the jab centres as well over the winter. We spent a lot of time down in the bay and so on. But again, with that, it's a very contentious subject as well, especially when it comes to the kids. So it's kind of, that's on the back burner for now, I suppose. I mean, we're still obviously against it, but I think for now, it's this drag queen paedophile agenda is the main thing, I think.
Yeah, the thing is, you've got to get your priorities right.
Yeah.
And at the moment, this is a priority for Wales because they're coming he's coming to 10 places in Wales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's 12 libraries.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, about protests and your activist, I think there's going to be a lot more protests, like I said, because this cost of living is going to affect every single person in the country. And that doesn't matter if they're the right, LGBT, it doesn't matter what colour, race or religion, it's going to affect everybody. All the working class. The middle class will get touched by it, but it's the working class who are going to get affected by it.
I mean, that's why we had the cost of living protest a few weeks back, but we just didn't get the support for it. And I think the problem is people are not suffering enough yet. People are obviously noticing the difference, and they do have less money and so on, but they're still managing. They're not starving or anything like that. It hasn't gone to that extreme. And also it's summer, don't forget, so people haven't got their heating on. Their bills, although yes, they're big, they're not as big as they're going to be in the winter. So they haven't been squeezed enough yet, so they're not angry. There's a few people are moaning about it and they're not happy, but they're not angry yet. And until people actually get really angry, I don't think they're going to get out on the streets. But maybe come sort of the winter when the bills are going to shoot up. I think is it a 77% rise or something ridiculous like that? I'm not sure.
We've already had a rise of, what was it?
In April, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've got another rise coming in October. That's another 56%, I think it is. Yeah. And then you've got another rise in January.
Yeah, so people can't afford, normal working class people can't afford that, because I think they were throwing figures around about like the £500-600 a month just for, your energy bills alone, and who can afford that? So I mean, a few of us have had our meters replaced anyway, because there is ways around that as well, but that's like a whole different sort of topic, maybe for another time to discuss.
You can talk about what you want, because I know what you're on about. You can buy the meters off eBay if you wanted to, can't you? As long as they're fitted by a professional.
Well, we didn't buy our own meters. There's Telegram groups. There was just one initially which sprung up to basically sort of educate people about energy and where it comes from and how it's all fraud and everything like that. Most of it's tax, but it's free anyway. It comes from the national grid. But there was a group set up where a gas and an electric engineer will come out. They'll supply the meter for you and they'll change it for a couple of £100. And that way then you are in charge of your own supply, because a lot of people aren't aware that these so-called energy companies like Shell, for example, or E.ON, they don't supply your energy. They're just billing companies. So all they do is create your bill and send it to you each month or each quarter. They don't supply the gas or the electric. Because if you think about it, say you want to change your supplier, as they call themselves, from Shell to Eon, it can literally be done in a couple of days because there's no disruption, there's no change to the actual supply. It's literally one company telling the other company that you're moving to them. So they just pass your details over and then they take over the billing. So they're basically charging you for the use of their meters. So if you take out their meters, you've removed your connection with them. So they're not, you're still getting your supply. They can't cut you off. They'll only cut off a commercial property. And again, people are not aware of that. They think, oh, well, I'm going to be left with no electricity, no gas. So you take out their meters, you put your own in, and yeah, it obviously has to be qualified engineer to do it. And they'll do a gas safety certificate for you as well. You need to get one of them done. And then you just tell your energy company, I'm leaving you, I've moved house, whatever you want to say. You don't even have to say anything. Pay your final bill with them so you don't owe them anything. And there you go, job done. And you don't pay for your energy.
Yeah, they're just transporting energy. That's all they're doing.
The billing company, that's all they are. So when you take their meter out, you keep it in case they want it back because it's their property. And you're basically your own billing company. You're billing yourself because that's all they were doing for you. They were never giving you energy. And again, that's just another lie that we've been fed from day one.
Yeah, I could go into all the free energy, which has been around for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
We're going back to we used to have energy back in 5,000 years ago, believe it or not. The first bit of energy I wrote, I kind of looked into was the pyramids in Giza. I went to visit Egypt, and they all used to have gold on the top. They were all taken away and stuff like that. But it was all about grabbing energy. It wasn't about the tombs or anything like that. It was about storing energy and passing energy along. Electric has been around longer than what we think, and history has lied to us in so many ways.
Yeah. They tried to blame the coal miners years ago. I think that's where this billing thing came from. I can't remember the ins and outs of it, but somebody explained it really well. Where the coal miners were on strike because of pay and conditions. Now, not the recent strikes in the 80s, way back before then. So the government then tried to blame the coal miners for basically the lack of energy, the shortage of energy. So because they said it was the miners were on strike, so they said, what we're going to do, we're going to put each house, we're going to put a meter into it, so we can kind of control how much energy that each of you uses. And that was a way of them basically perpetuating this fraud by putting these meters in and telling you then that they were giving you your supply. And it's just everyone, we've all just been told that, haven't we, from day one? Nobody questions it until you delve into it. I didn't know until a few months ago.
I haven't paid electric or gas for 2 years.
Oh, well done. I'm about 4 months in now.
I've not paid water for 5 years. And the way I look at it, it's quite simple. The way I look at it, right? I've distilled my water. I put it through an alkaline filter. The way I look at it, why should I pay for water that comes off my roof into the drains, which they steal off me, and then send back with fluoride in it and certain other products in it? And I don't want that. Then I have to distill it, clean all the shit out of the water, and then put more minerals in, alkaline minerals back in. So I should be billing them for I should have them arrested for stealing water off my blinking drain pipe.
Yeah, and putting crap in it as well. I mean, there's no shortage of water in this country, never will be. So everyone should stop paying that as well, and the TV license then as well. But I haven't paid that for ages either.
Well, yeah, TV license. That's another one I haven't paid for years as well. This week, let's see if I can find it. Here we go. France axes the TV license fee because of the cost of crisis. Now, the government have been sneaky about this. What they've actually said, they're going to get rid of the TV license in the next couple of years, right? But the BBC are pushing for it to be on your council tax.
Yes, yeah.
So everybody has to pay it if they like it or not. So I can't see them getting rid of the TV license. And
No, they'll sneak in another tax somewhere, like you said, potentially put it on the council tax, or they'll put it somewhere to try and just bleed it out of us. I mean, the council tax is a huge like bone of contention because it's a difficult one because they have so much power. Um, it's not as easy as just not paying the gas and electric and the water and so on. Because the council, they can do an attachment of earnings order. They can take it from your wages. They can seize property. Because I have looked into it and I've tried that, but I haven't been successful so far. But yeah, the TV license, they'll find some way around it to get the money out of us somehow. But again, it just needs mass non-compliance. That's what everything would be solved. All of these problems could be solved if everybody just refused to comply, refused to pay.
The way I look at it, I think every politician and every councillor, they should all be removed, and we all start again.
Absolutely.
We need a new system. We can't keep on running the system they want us to live by.
No, it's just they want total control over everything, don't they? I mean, even down to the talking about this drought now and hosepipe bans, and you can't fill your kids' paddling pool, and you can't wash your car, and it's just they want full control over everything in our lives.
You can't. The thing is, the funny thing with a hosepipe ban is you can't use your hosepipe to wash your car, but you can put water in your bucket from your tap to wash your car.
I know.
And things like you can fill up your paddling pool with a bucket, and they can't touch you. But it's just manic. If you want to fill up your pool, you're going to fill it up any way you want to, anyway.
Yeah, I know. But you probably have like Karens snitching on their neighbours. If they did try and implement that, it'll be like back in the the lockdowns when you had people like snitching on each other, saying, oh, they had more than 6 people in their house and all that kind of nonsense.
Brown coats.
Yeah, they'd be ringing their neighbours, ringing the council or the cops or whatever, saying my neighbour's filling their paddling pool and I want to report them. I tell you, people are they are insane. The true sheep, like the 100% sheep who actually go along with everything. They want to be controlled. That type of people,
Yeah, that's the thing. They want to control every aspect of your life.
Yeah,
and once they get it, like property, that's going to be another thing. You're not going to own nothing. Yeah, well, you don't technically own anything anyway.
Own nothing and be happy.
Yeah, because the thing is, they've already put it into effect, really. As far as your car is concerned, for a start, right? If you look on your logbook, you're not the owner. You're just the keeper.
That's right. Yeah,
The government is the owner. You're the keeper. That's why when you get stopped in your car, say you didn't have any tax on it, they can just take it away.
Yeah.
Right, because they are the owner.
Yeah.
But what a lot of mortgage payers don't realise, when they look into their mortgage and you find tenant on your mortgage, it's a bit of a shock, because you don't actually own your own property. It's same as leasehold. You don't own it. It says tenant on your deeds.
Yeah.
And this is what they've done over the years. They've been changing things slowly,
Yeah.
without you even knowing.
No.
And people think I'm mad when I say it. Go and check your logbook.
No. I don't. I believe you. I've looked into all that as well, and all the banking thing and basically like our whole lives are a lie. Everything we've been told is a lie.
Yeah, it is all complete other lies. What do you think about MPs with their getting electric bills paid?
Oh well, I mean, doesn't surprise me, of course, and their second homes and their third homes, and it's just an absolute piss take, isn't it? I mean, not only are they just trying to kill us and control us, and like we're paying for the privilege of it as well. That's what gets me. Like we're paying for that to fund their lifestyles and their wages and all of that, and then look what they're doing to us. Systematically trying to kill us with everything. They're spraying on us and putting it in our foods, and I mean the list goes on.
I went to Voice of Wales Answer Time the other week, and there was a guy called Paul Burgess on it. I'll probably get slated for this, right? And he's a climate expert. He was on the panel. fucking spot on. He was actually spot on everything.
Yeah.
And I turned my camera off because he was dead against climate change. He said that this is rubbish. Do you mean? And he was a climate expert. Do you mean? He's been doing it for 40 years.
Mm.
And I turned my camera off because I thought it was the end of the show. And then a lady in the front row turned around and said, "What about chemtrails?" He turned around. This climate change expert, I couldn't believe it. Paul Burgess. He turned around and he said, "That's a conspiracy theory."
Oh no.
I said, "Look, mate," because the woman said it in front. I had to stand up. I had to argue it with him. Like I had to interview him after as well,
That's
which was a bit
disappointing.
dodgy. But at the end of the day, I had to say it. Like, mate,
Yeah,
I said,
absolutely.
one, I said, if you want proof, just go back to the Olympics we had in this country. Those 8 weeks, or those 6 weeks that we had sunshine. Then go back to, well, you can look back at the European tournament, the football tournament. They made sure there was no rain every day. There was no
Yeah.
rain over those
Yeah.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I said, look, they even said it on the news. A reporter said it on the news. You can even go on a government website and look at it, Google it, about chemtrails.
Mhm.
But this reporter said about seeding. And I said, "You're talking through your arse, like, you know." I said, "There's such a thing called seeding. Why do you think what they do to disperse clouds? They produce the clouds with the chemtrails, and then they use the seeding to get rid of the clouds.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if they want a sunny day for any reason, because
Yeah.
what happened in Russia, in Moscow, they had like an Armed Forces Day, and the British press was covering it, and they turned around and said, because there was no flyby going past, and there was clouds. They said the reporters, the British reporter, turned around and said obviously they haven't seeded the clouds, and then he realised what he said, and that only happens in Russia and China. I was thinking, well, we had Saudi last year, didn't we? Saudi last year proved that they could make clouds and make it rain.
Yeah, they definitely manipulate. I mean, look at the Jubilee weekend as well. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Parasites weekend for those 2 days. Well, it was I don't know, 2 day, 4 day thing, but the weather leading up to it, I remember, was fairly crap. And then as soon as that day arrived, I think it was a Thursday and Friday, wasn't it? Because we had the bank holidays. It was
Yeah.
blazing sun, blue skies. Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing he said that, isn't it? Because you would think if he's an expert on climate change and he's debunking it and everything, that he would be aware of chemtrails as well. So yeah, that
But the
is
thing is,
disappointing.
it's not something new. It's been going around since 1936, I think it was.
Yeah.
And like somebody, Lulu just said, it's control weather. It's what they originally used it for was to control the weather for part of art of war. So basically, if it was raining, it would control it. Nobody would want to fight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's loads of different reasons. But yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't believe it that
Not what you
a
expect,
guy,
is it?
I wasn't expecting it.
No.
A guy who had debunked all climate change about the glaciers and everything else like that, and then he didn't believe about climate change,
Yeah.
about chemtrails and seeding. I just couldn't believe
Can't
it.
have it all.
No, you can't. You can't. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to. Yeah, that's right. Harp. That's in West Wales. I'm
Yeah.
sure Harp. It
Yeah.
actually controls the temperature, doesn't it?
I'm not sure. It's some kind of engineering of the weather, isn't it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
pure
I'm not
engineering.
too clued up on that side of things.
Yeah, I have heard of them. Julie Weekend. Yeah. How did you manage with? I see you didn't die with the hot weather, the 41
Oh, I
degrees.
know. I'm a miracle, Phil. I mean, I should have died. I was out in it. I was drinking alcohol. I wasn't in the shade. I mean, Wales Online told me I was going to die, basically. Did you remember? Did you see their headline? They actually said, "You will die." It was when we had the two really hot days. I think it was not last weekend, the one before. I can't remember. And I mean, they were. I follow them on Facebook just for the comedy value, basically.
Yeah,
And they were updating their story or their status like virtually every 5 minutes, and they were like ramping up the fear. And then it was like, you will die if you go out in the sun at midday, you will die. So I'm just like grateful that I'm still here. I survived. I'm still here.
I did 2 lives on the Monday, and I did the third live in my sister's pool. But I went down to Coney Beach, I did, and I was doing a live in the front, and I was going, all these people, look at all these dead people on their towels. It's amazing. And then I was pointing, look at the zombies walking around. They must
Yeah,
have died earlier on, and now they come back to life. I
yeah.
said, can't you see all the rows of ambulances across the
Oh
promenade?
yeah, the
Do you
sirens
mean to
go.
take them all away? Do they?
Yeah,
I
it's
was just taking the
insane.
piss, basically.
Oh, I
I
know,
did
I
it all
know.
day.
They're still going on about it. They're saying now there's another heat wave, and issuing warnings and all this. And they were telling on the last big heat wave, as we call it, and they were telling people to close all the windows and close their curtains. And I mean, and there were people actually they were going along with that, because some people, like, they live and die by the media. That's basically their handbook for life, and they believe everything the media tell them, and they just follow instructions, don't they? So a friend of mine, she has elderly parents, and they actually did that. They closed all the windows, closed all the curtains, and it was, I mean, it was probably about 35 degrees, I think, at that point, and it was like a sauna in their house, because they're trying to kill them off as well, because people will just don't use their common sense at all. It's just gone. I mean, if it's in the media and they tell you to do it, then it must be true, it must be right.
It's just mad. But I'm just glad a lot of people on the beaches, they took absolutely no notice of them, and they just
Yeah,
enjoyed their day. Like to me, I
yeah, I
probably
just do the opposite.
I imagine a couple dodged work for that Monday morning,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and went out and enjoyed the sunlight because they were too afraid to go to work, weren't they? Too
Well,
afraid to go
exactly.
to
I mean,
work.
they might have died on the way to work or something like that. Imagine being on a bus in that heat. It'd probably like burst into flames or something. So you can't go take a chance, can you? So it's best to just stay at home. And I think probably as well, people drank more alcohol, because they were saying don't drink alcohol, but they probably drank more. I know I did.
Oh yeah, it was a funny day, really. To be honest,
It
with you.
was.
I
Wales
had a
Online
little
are
bit to drink.
just priceless.
Yeah, but they're going to pull this on us again, and it's all about
Oh yeah,
climate change.
yeah,
But
yeah.
can you
They'll try
think of?
a lockdown. I think they'll try a climate lockdown.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they might do a cost of living lockdown before that, mind.
They will. They're going to try and restrict, because just going back to the meters, if you got, I had mine were smart meters before I got them taken out, so they can control, as you probably know, they can control your energy. So if they decide that you can only use, your electricity between certain hours, they can restrict that. And they will. That's what it was. That's what's going to happen. They're going to be just controlling everything that you do, when you can use your gas, when you can use your electricity, and that's why people need to get these smart meters taken out. And again, that was an agenda that was massively pushed, because I remember a couple of years ago, before the COVID scam, before I was properly awake, I sort of was half awake, but not properly, and I was getting letters all the time from Eon saying, "Oh, we want to put in smart meters," and I didn't have a clue. I just thought, oh well, yeah, why not? Like, it'll be handy, blah blah blah. I didn't know the agenda, and they kept pushing and pushing and writing to me all the time. And then eventually they just sent an engineer around, and he just changed them. And I didn't object, because I didn't know the reality behind it. And I imagine a lot of people are in the same position. They just didn't know. But when you think about it, anything that they push on you as smart is the opposite, isn't it? It's bad. And they had a target, from the government, didn't they? That these, I don't even like calling them energy suppliers, but billing companies had a target that they had to install a certain amount of smart meters by a certain date, to get this funding or whatever. So that's why they were pushing it so heavily on everybody. And it's going to all, people will start to slowly realize what those smart meters are about, I think, in maybe this winter, or possibly the one after. That's when they're going to start to restrict the energy, I think.
Yeah, I've been in this property for 6 years, and they've kept on and on about smart meters, and I'm just saying, no, no, it's not
Oh yeah,
happening. I don't want one, thank you.
yeah, yeah,
Because I haven't paid my bill for 2 years for electric and gas. They keep on wanting to put a prepaid meter in, and
yeah,
I've said that's not going to happen. You'll have to take me to court,
yeah,
and if we go to court, that's fine. because under the legislation at the moment, you can't cut me off. Now,
No,
if
they
I
don't.
don't pay on a prepaid meter, I'm cut off. So,
Apparently, if there's a way around that as well. I actually saw a video about that a couple of days ago. That don't they? I'm not too sure. I've never had a prepaid meter, but don't they give you a card or something, a payment card that you
yeah,
have to activate? So if you never activate it, apparently your supply will continue. There's only if you activate it and then say you don't top it up anymore, then you won't get any supply. I'll see if I can find the video. It was quite an informative one, because it would be good to know that if I mean my meters are outside, so it's difficult for me if they do try and obviously if they're inside they have to gain entry, which is illegal for them to do anyway. But it's more difficult to protect your meters when they're outside, and both of mine are. So they haven't harassed me yet, but it's something that I may face in the future. But I'll worry about that at the time.
yeah. All right then. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put up this. This is your. Let me get rid of that comment as well.
I can't see it. Oh
All
no,
right.
that's the wrong one. It's not 2 p.m.
What time was it?
Well, we on the posters we put 10:30 for people to gather, but because it's due to start at 11. But as I said earlier, it's likely that they may change the time, so the earlier people can be there if they are going to attend, the better. We're going to be there for 9, but if people we've put on the poster we put 10:30, so half an hour before the scheduled time. So yeah,
So they've already changed this from 2 o'clock to 11 o'clock for Cardiff.
I'm not sure. That poster was out ages ago. That's an old poster. I think it's just been circulated, but it's been updated since then. So yeah, I mean, we'd love as many as possible to be there just to support us, and the earlier you can get there, the better. But we're saying 10:30. If you can get there earlier, even better.
So where is the central library hub?
It's by John Lewis in the Hayes, just outside like St David's. Anyone who knows Cardiff will know it anyway. It's the Central Library. It's a big glass building by John Lewis.
Right. I'll probably park over by the courts and walk over under the subway and walk over.
Yeah.
And that's probably the easiest way to get there.
I'll probably take the bus in because I could be there all day. I don't really know. Depends on. I mean, they might move it till the afternoon, and in the hope that we'll turn up early and then get fed up and go home. I don't really know. I'm guessing they'll probably bring it forward rather than push it back, but I don't know at the moment.
Well, that's what I'm thinking they're going to do with most of them. They're going to change the times and dates. They know that once they get complaints, people ringing up and stuff like that, complaining,
Oh yeah.
then they know that something's going to. I'm going to tell them straight there's going to be a protest outside your library, if you like it or not. And I'll say there's a lot of people going to be turning up.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, it's tough.
Yeah, if you don't like it, then cancel the event.
Yeah, exactly, because it's my taxpayers' money. And that's what I'll be saying. I don't want it, yeah.
I don't want it, no. I don't want to pay for that. I didn't authorize it. I didn't agree to any of that. So, yeah, if they don't like it, then they can just call it off if there's enough people. And if they're pissed off having to get like loads of security and everything, well, then that should tell them that really then the public are not supporting this event, so it should be cancelled.
Yeah. Could you send me the new poster on Messenger?
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is I'll put it onto the group, onto Real News Live News, and I'll put it on the page as well. Obviously, I'll put it on my profile as well.
Yeah.
I've got like a problem because my main profile is actually down at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm building up my other profile up. I got to watch what I say, like, because. But my main profile is on a 30-day, but I will be live and I will be able to get things out because I've got other profiles. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I got you.
What's this? My gas card broke and I kept saying someone can come tomorrow, fit you a smart meter. I told her I have agoraphobia and anxiety and nobody's coming in my house. They owe me £20. They didn't top a card, didn't work. What I put my own one on. Didn't call back as a stress of talking to somebody broken his English made me feel. Pardon, sorry, excuse me. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't pay it anyway.
No.
Simple. Some of these events have been cancelled. There was one in Scotland. There's one in Norfolk. I know Bristol was cancelled as well.
Yeah.
That was cancelled last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think there was two of them on two separate days because Bristol had, I think, 2 days of events with several events on each day. And as far as I know, a couple of the events were cancelled, but they said they're not cancelled, they're just postponed. So they reckon they're going to be doing them another date instead. I don't know.
Yeah. This is the other person. Her name's Titty Trash, folks. She
Mhm.
actually, she was the one that was cancelled yesterday, I think. I think
Yeah.
that one was in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking good really for our children.
No. No.
It's not looking good for our country either, to be
No.
honest
That's
with
why
you.
everyone needs to just stand up and just get out there and just speak up because numbers do count. They really do.
Yeah, Michael Cleaves helped get the Bristol one cancelled. Yeah, I saw a few people who were at the Bristol one. My friend Casey, she was the one with the shaved hair. You probably saw the video of it in front of Antifa. Uh, she actually, I'm hoping she'll take me up to not up to Mid Wales on Monday. She might be
Yeah.
going as well.
Yeah. Well, if we're going up, if we can make it up, if me and my friend can make it up, I'll let you know anyway.
Yeah, I don't mind driving to Cardiff, but it's good. The thing is, I got my cat converter on my car is a bit knackered, so along the
Oh,
motorway is fine. You can do between
yeah.
50 and 70. But if there's any hills going up to Mid Wales, I'm going to be stuffed. I won't be able to get up them.
Yeah, it's probably A470, isn't it? I'd imagine that's the way you go.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It all depends on the hills.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
They're
I
pretty
struggle
hills
driving
then.
up a motorway.
Yeah.
So this is why I have to really. Well, I am getting a new car, but it's not. I'm not going to have one until the end of August. So
Yeah.
what's this? Yeah, it was pushing the female man thing. I don't think there's any other comments. Don't forget Flow Job. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
Fiona.
Yeah, we spoke about him earlier. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Flow Job. What a name. We all know what that name
Yeah.
means or
Yeah.
implies. And the thing is, stick to being adult entertainers for over
Yeah.
18s and
Yeah,
not for kids.
exactly. Stick to a relevant audience.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to thank you, Sasha, for coming on. It's been great. I loved having you on. Hopefully, I can have you on again as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
Perhaps I'll
having
bring
me.
some other guests on as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
we can have a chat. I'll probably try to ring you Sunday to see what you're doing for
Yeah.
Monday and see how many people are turning up. I will tag a few people into this that are from North Wales who might be able to come down. I'm not saying they can, but I'm going
Yeah.
to see if they can come down as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right then, Sasha. Thank you for
All right.
jumping on.
Thanks. No
Thank you
worries at
very
all.
much.
Thanks very much. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, ta-ra. Right, folks. So yeah, so this is what we got to do, folks. We have to start working together. Let's get rid of that comment first. Hide that comment. Put this up. Brand. Right. Right. This is the. Let's see if I can. Nope. Nope. Won't have it. Yeah. So this is a list, folks. So My intention is to get around the 10 of them, folks. So I'm going to try get to Powys on the 8th and do those three, and then come back for the Vale of Glamorgan on the 9th, and then Lantwin Major on the 10th. In Cowbridge, they're not too far away from me, so I will be going to film them, folks. I'm hoping Base Welshman will be coming along as well, and maybe Simon from Unity News, I think he's from. I'm going to try and see if he can come along as well. So we've got a few people can film these events as well. You got Porthcawl Library then, and San and Aberkenpig on the 11th. 3 of them on the Thursday, and then you got Cardiff Central, a big one, on the Friday. We do need as many people as we can there, folks, because we've got to put a stop to this. This is far length and it's grooming. It's grooming our kids with over 18 entertainers. And like I said, I want the question asked at these libraries, and my question will be asked: why does a man in a dress want to talk to young children? Why aren't librarians doing it? Librarians doing it, who we pay their taxes. We don't. Why are we paying our taxes for somebody like Ada to read to our children? It's pretty obvious. We don't want this talking to our children, folks. We don't need it. We don't want it, and our kids don't want it. This is Ada again. This is the rest of the ones which are going around the libraries, which they've added dates to and stuff like that, folks. And this is Ada HD. I don't want this person around kids at all. Like, I wouldn't want a drag queen around the child, and I certainly I'm not going to be putting up with it. So I'm expecting parents are turning up for these events. I've showed enough of them. I will be continually on my profiles. I'll be putting up the dates, the times of the libraries. But we got to start phoning them. Make noise in it by ringing them up. Google their phone numbers. I got all their phone numbers. I don't want to put them on here because I'll get done for spam. You know what I mean? But just type in the libraries. Just type in these libraries, folks. Just type them all in into Google. Get the phone number. Ring them all. Tell them not happy. You're a taxpayer. You want to know why a man in a dress wants to talk to young children. What do you mean by all inclusive? Why should a 2-year-old know about all inclusive? Whatever that ever means, folks. It's just bang of order. All of it is, as far as I'm concerned. So, folks, that's going to be the end of my show, I think. Oh, hang on a minute. That's a demo on the 27th in Manchester. That is going to be the big one for the children. Let's get rid of that banner at the bottom because it's hiding the time, I think. There you go. It starts at 2 p.m. That's Piccadilly Gardens, and that's in Manchester. I'll be at that one. There is some more, I think. I've got a few more. PCP Wales Girls. I'm not sure if this is the one. Yeah, this will all be changing, folks, because they're outside the library. They are. Not the library. They're outside the train station on the 20th, I think it is, folks. I don't know if I got it on there. But I will be having one of the PCP Wales Girls on next week. And it's something else I need to tell everybody is from next weekend, the Wednesday will be going to Tuesday. The 7 p.m., 8 p.m. will be going to 7 p.m., folks. So next Tuesday, I'll be going live at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays from now on. Hopefully I'll get some of their... I will have a few guests on next week. Cheers, Sasha. Yeah. What was that? Email to all councils. Yeah. Send out emails to all these councils, all your local councils, and say, no, we don't want it. We didn't pay taxpayers' money for you to employ a drag queen to come into our libraries to read to our children, or a man in a dress to come and read to our children. We paid for you to be a library, and if you want to read to children, get the librarians to do it. They enjoy doing it. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. Like, yeah, and we all need to do it now. We definitely need to do it now. Yeah, man, I'll definitely, Dave. I'll definitely see you on the 27th. I'll be coming up. Yeah, like I said, on the 20th is a PCP Wales one outside the train station in Cardiff. I think that's at 1 o'clock. And then the 27th is Manchester. There is a demo. I don't know if it might be changed next Saturday in Telford. I think it might be changed to the 5th. So I'm just waiting to see what date it's getting changed to, or the 4th or something like that. I'll be going to that as well. So, but next week I will be live from Monday, hopefully all the way to Saturday. You get sick of me. And some days I'll be on 2-3 times, and I've got my show to do on a Tuesday night as well. So you're going to see a lot of me next week, folks. So keep on sharing and keep on watching, folks. Right, I'm going to say good night, I think. Yeah, I would go up to Manchester for Jimmy's wedding, but like I said, I'm already booked out for, and Jimmy already knows, Jimmy the Arts already knows that the children come first in Wales, and I have to go for a PCP, go and support PCP Wales. That's me. Yeah, I've got, what have I got? I got the 10 places in Wales next week, which I'll be doing lives at. I've got my show on the Tuesday night, and plus I'll be doing I'll be filming a presentation in my Stiggs area, sort of, for the PCP Wales girls as well, folks. So you are going to see quite a few lives off me. I've got to keep my mouth shut, I think, on some of them, because there's going to be Antifa, and I don't want to see them, to be honest with you, folks. They're just tossers. All right, then. Catch you all next week. I'll play my tune off. Find it now with all this. All right, good night, all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Thanks to my admin. Great as ever. And I'll see you soon.
Okay, picking it up here in Wilmington, North Carolina, right at the Intercoastal. We're in one of these bands.
So that's my site, Dell, in Wilmington, North Carolina. But as he races and fights to win Friday, check out the two guys who seem to walk right by him in the background there. No trouble at all. The video has been shared more than 1 million times on social media. Now it's the
Cruising, losing, looking for some news and losing it's amusing. Other people choosing the topics I can view and the subjects I can chew on, the facts that I can spew and the news they put their slew on. Twisty, turny, wriggly, wormy, squealy, squirmy news. Psychopathic journalists deceiving with their views. Tightening like a tourniquet, they're aiming to confuse. Nightly negative narratives narrating you the blues. Blues and twos, new taboos, the pasta's all sold out. The hurricane's incoming and the world is dying out. Asteroids, blasteroids, steroids in their tails. The windiest ever windy gales are blowing in the dales. The sea levels are rising at a super duper rate. 247 365, the caliphate's your fate. Tidal waves are waving like the death rays from the sun. Duck and cover, stand your ground, there's nowhere else to run.
Now, more on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago, I was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing, and indeed it has. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy.
Writing, fighting, to publish stuff exciting. Losing it's amusing, other people choosing the posts that I can post and the documents I can read from, the info I can feed from, the facts the checkers get wrong. Sleazy, slimy, geeky, grimy, blackout, soulless tech, concluding with a clickety-click what's wrong and what's correct. Politically encouraged with protection from the law. They're getting pretty ruthless now, they're panicking for sure. Scrubbing out the info like a scrubber in a tub, deleting the derogatory of the members in their club. Documents and studies disappear without a trace. Psychopathic moral, unless they're doing it in your face. The info is erasing at a super duper rate. Breach community standards, your account will feel a fate. Post a funny meme means that you hate and are extreme. No chance of an appeal cause you're white and so supreme. Doctors, nurses, scientists and servants, real boys made from wood, covering for the perverts. Defining definitions that will put you in a spin. Anything of interest gets filed in recycled bin. Algorithms algorizing the content that you post. Collecting information, long-term storage with a host. Five Eyes keeping eyes on you, they're eyeing up your speech. Using legal loopholes to conduct a data breach. Unqualified assessors banning stuff they do not like. Since early 2020 this has reached a massive spike. You're swimming in a dirty swamp, the swamp is full of pike. Post a touchy subject and receive a community strike. Unelected unofficials making up the rules. Billion-dollar corporations governing the schools. Satanic worship dictators who distribute the tools. Pervy public servants act like Hitler with the Jews.